Hey guys, it's Emily and I'm back with another speed build. This one, as you can see, is a shell challenge by Rhys Moon that I saw on Twitter. I haven't ever done a dollhouse and I've really wanted to. And this is also base game, something that in my last video I said I've been wanting to do, but I haven't done yet. So I kind of combined those two in this one, and so I couldn't pass it up. Um, The rules were you can't add any walls and you can't change the shape of the roof. And so the creative side of me thought, well, if I can't change the shape of the roof, maybe I can kind of change it up in the way that we utilize it. So as you can see, I ended up incorporating that greenhouse type look, and that frees us up to use those little areas in the attic that you normally wouldn't be able to. And with such a small build, I thought we needed all the room we can get. So you'll see there that I have those windows shrunken down and then placed on the walls so we can see through the walls. In the end, I removed that, the one on the exterior, so it's enclosed, but we can see in through the windows of the roof. But while I was building, I wanted to be able to see through it all the way just to see where things were. I decided I really wanted to have kind of a bold theme. So of course I went black and white, as you can see. And so I lined, initially I thought I want those, the lines of the dollhouse to really stand out. And so I used those big black pillars to kind of line it and make it nice and chunky. And then the same thing going across, I used some trim so that everything is black and bold. And then inside we use black and white and a little bit of gray. And so I knew that was the theme I was going to be sticking with. So in that way, it made choosing things easier, just because I was limited by the color palette. Not only did I give myself a base game limit, but I also gave myself a color palette limit. And in the kitchen here, I guess these are technically brown, the counters, but I think they work. And I really also was trying to go for a modern vibe with this, and so this, I think, this style of countertop really worked well. And I knew with this limited amount of space that I would have to kind of incorporate a lot of seating in kind of an alternative way. So that's why we have kind of the kitchen table floating, but then we also have those bar stools. I thought that adds a good amount of seating, but everything, kind of kitchen-wise that you would do in the kitchen is in that one room. And so we do have the kitchen and the living room, as you saw, down on the first level. And then the second level up here, we have the master bedroom and the bathroom, only one bathroom in this house. And then up on the third floor, we have like a little attic area, or like a skill building area, hangout room. And then on the right, we have like a little greenhouse. And if I was using seasons, I would have added the flower arranging table in there just to go with the plant vibe a little bit more. But we ended up putting the handiness table in there just so that there is a skill building table, and I thought that seemed appropriate. And then over on the left side, in that space that I've opened up, is the toddler bedroom. And originally, when you watch me do the speed build here, that area, I thought we had 2 tiles wide that the Sims could route on, but when I play tested it, I determined that they only have 1. And so I definitely rearranged things from the way that I'm showing in the speed build, and you'll see in the cinematic view the way that it actually ended up. So that was the only thing that I had to change up a little bit based on how I play tested it. And I didn't have a desk anywhere in the house. I think it kind of naturally went in the bedroom, but I thought it was kind of awkward to have the desk kind of sitting parallel to the opening of the dollhouse, and so I ended up kind of creating this little vanity looking area in the bathroom with that mirror raised up. I didn't test if they could use that mirror, but there's another mirror that they can use in the bathroom. But when I did play test it, I do have a little laptop on that area, on that desk vanity area in the bathroom, and my sim couldn't sit there if I clicked on the desktop, which I thought was really strange. It happened to me one other time in a build that I did where I had to sit down first. So if you click on the seat and click sit down, the sim goes and sits down, and then you can click on the computer and interact with it normally. But if you click directly on the computer, your sim will say they can't route to it. So I don't know why that happens. Maybe it won't happen in your game and she'll be able to use it correctly. I don't know. The other thing here that I encountered is that bookshelf in the toddler bedroom is they can interact with it if they play in it, but they can't interact with it if they take a book down. So I don't know why that is. There is another bookcase in the master bedroom, and then one in the living room too. So if your sim wants to read to their toddler, they can get the books from there. I don't know why that is. If anybody knows why that is, definitely leave a comment and let me know, because I've encountered that in a couple different builds, and I just really don't know what, if it's something that I'm placing or if it's just a glitch that happens. I don't know. So you see that panda chair right there is technically in a wall, and so I knew from the beginning that they would never be able to sit in it. I was going for it hiding the window, and that was fine with me. It was just kind of for looks, but in the end I end up rearranging it all anyway. We have a dollhouse that is covering up that window so that the wall disappears, and the dollhouse is functional. The window doesn't get in the way of them being able to use it. Here, this above the bar was actually kind of tricky for me. I was really wanting a bunch of bottles, and the things I tried I didn't really like, and so I ended up using some items from Debug. In a lot of my builds, I end up cluttering with debug items. I love the option of having all those little knickknacks, and so we ended up having some bottles here, and then I thought, I'll put one of these neon signs because that kind of fits the bar vibe. But then I found this wine, rock that hangs on the wall with wine, and I never used that object, so I thought this is literally perfect for this spot. We added in some basic lighting, but there is, in the master bedroom and the toddler bedroom, there is kind of side table lighting. And here again, we are with the clutter, all that little makeup, nail file, the blush brush, the chapstick or lipstick. I love that stuff, and I love cluttering with that stuff. And so, the Sims that I had living here was a female, a mom, and her little toddler boy. But of course, you could have any amount of Sims. You're limited by the beds, of course, unless you change it up. But, I think you could change the other bedroom into the other attic room into a bedroom as well. But keep in mind that you have to place it. There's only that one tile that they can route into, and so you have to place it in a way that they can access, which is why in the cinematic walkthrough you'll see that the bed is kind of out in the middle of the room. And that's so they can walk next to it with that one tile. So that is the one kind of caveat I'll give you, that if you're changing up that room in either of the attic areas, that they only have one tile to access everything. That little bear chair, I was contemplating rearranging it and creating a little pillow out of it. I really see like a blanket draped over that table at the end of the bed. Like, I really want a blanket, but I thought maybe I could do like some pillows or something, using the tool mod to rotate that chair in a way, and it just wasn't working out. So we ended up forgoing that. And again, here we ended up putting in another bookcase. I'm trying to fill up the wall space at this point with base game items, and so that was tricky because I have never limited myself before. I have all the packs, and I like using all the packs just for creative reasons, even though I wanted to do a base game build. I've wanted to for a long time because you guys out there have requested, like, I love your builds, but can you do a base game build? I don't have all the packs. And so that actually inspired me. The next build I'm doing that I'm already working on is for a challenge as well. It's not a shell challenge, but it's a challenge. And I'm limiting my packs. I think I'm using 4 packs. And so, I hope that it's more accessible to the other simmers out there who don't have all the packs. And here again, you'll see I'm just using the tool mod to shrink down those windows just a little bit further so I can cover them up. Again, the tool mod, you don't need to have that in your game in order for it to function correctly. It's just simply a tool for builders to alter the way things are in the game. But since they're already items that are in your game, they don't show as custom content. So you already have that window. You can shrink it up and down to a certain extent with the certain keystrokes you use, but with the tool mod, it enables you to have more access to more sizes, more. You can rotate it, you can change the size, you can scale it bigger or smaller. And so that's what I'm doing with the tool mod. But again, you don't need that in your game, which is the super awesome thing about tool mod. I can't say enough positive things about it. If you're a builder at all, definitely include it in your game if you can. If you're not on console, definitely include it. It's just amazing. And that's by Twisted Mexi. He has a lot of really great mods. The other one I have of his is that I don't have to turn my cheats on. I always have move objects on. There's several of his mods that I have in my game just because they're so easy to use. Make life easy. That's what I was going for. They make your life easy. And here again, I rotated those books with the tool mod. Normally they just sit on a shelf, but I wanted to have them like sitting on the coffee table in a different direction. And so I use the tool mod to just rotate it. Again, trying to fill up that space in the background, so we use a debug plant, hanging plant. I really like the hanging plants that came with Nifty Knitting. I would have included that, but again, being base game, we use this plant, the only hanging plant we've had up until Nifty Knitting, and so I use them a lot. Just a little bit of basic landscaping outside. I thought this is a dollhouse, and so I didn't want to have crazy elaborate landscaping, even though I love doing landscaping. We ended up just building, kind of the classic dollhouse, just a little pool stuck on the side. Originally, I was thinking right in the ground, not even having it raised. But in the end, I thought, nope, it looks more genuine to an actual dollhouse if we raise it up and kind of include it as like part of the dollhouse. So you'll see in the end that I end up raising it up, and I think it looks like, a real classic dollhouse. I really enjoyed doing this build. It was kind of a surprise challenge that I took on, and I'm really glad that I came across it. You can tour the builds. Definitely check out his Twitch page, and he's going to be touring all the builds. So if you're watching this as I post it and not at a later date, you can definitely check that out on Sunday, the 23rd. And, I'm looking forward to seeing everybody's builds and how they executed this in their own creative way. With that, thanks for watching.